Hello friends, welcome to a Sheepy 7 video. Alright, so I've never actually made a character reference sheet before because I always thought my art skill wasn't up to par yet. Since it was ArtFight this year and I actually wanted to participate in it, I figured I'd probably need a character sheet, so even though I still have those same feelings, I made one anyways. My good old little Bloop man, or Shuiji is his other name. Basically, he's kind of my favorite, honestly. I really like this little guy. Yeah, for the reference sheet, I looked at a few examples and I found that when I imagined it in my head, this design seemed the best. So I've got the full body shot, because of course you need that. Kind of chibi, but maybe not fully. I got the side angle, 45 degree, and the back view. And I actually never really drew him from the back before, because I've only drawn a few comics and that's never really been needed. So yeah, I kind of designed that on the spot, and I'm pretty happy with how it came out actually. Because I like to do pixel art, I've got my pixel art version, and then his main face shot, and he's doing a cute little pose, because of course he'd be silly like that. And then I've got the palette and his name. And I didn't think age or anything else was necessary for now. And that is basically him. Oh, I did forget his whiskers. You can see it on the pixel art version. I didn't forget that. So yeah, that's my bad. I might have to fix that later, but I'm not doing all that right now. Oh yeah, and for the pixel art version, I wasn't able to record it because I use 100 by 100 canvas for the pixel art, usually. I realize Procreate doesn't record if the canvas is too small, so I'll have that fixed for the future reference sheets. And yeah, that's basically my little guy. So I asked in the Discord who would like pixel art of their OC, and I believe Metheria0 was the first to ask. So I will be using his OC here, Cyprus Softspell, for my first attack. Now on to Cyprus's description. Dungeon Meshi inspired D&D campaign. I can see in the character design how she's inspired by Dungeon Meshi. I have not actually watched that anime yet. I don't know if I will, I've been busy. Back to her description. Cyprus is a halfling life cleric who constantly is found to be carrying her staff with a moon-shaped stone at the end. She also wears gold crescent earrings and a necklace because she has an aesthetic and sticks to it. She also wears a white dress and purple ballet-like shoes. She is 3'7" and is constantly annoyed with the rest of her party for their stupidity and need to annoy her. Cyprus also has green eyes and has a beauty mark under her left eye, right if you're looking at her. Bless up. She's the type of person who needs to be the best, specifically the smartest. Her own self-importance lies within her success and her ability to keep her party alive. Average cleric. However, she's more of a healer wizard than a traditional cleric, more focused on studies in the magic aspect rather than the traditional religious aspects of it. Also, big woman lover. Gags at the idea of liking a man. She's so real. I can't add animations to this, but our campaign has one where it's to the Sigma meal skibbity slicers audio on TikTok, and she's the no part of it. That's their dynamic. And now on to the character permissions, which is always very important to check. You should never not look at that. So it looks like Cyprus does not have any particular character permissions. So we'll take a look at the global permissions, which says, feel free to draw anyone however you wish, excluding not safe for work. Gore, drawing with others / your OCs, and anything is fair game. Also, all of them have insane backstories that I won't go too in-depth into, but if you ever want to hear about it or learn more, I will tell you everything. Alright, and now we'll take a quick look at the reference pictures. There's her palette. And there's her with her teammates looking annoyed, as the description said earlier. Cute little chibi face shot. And there's her full body picture with the staff. And there's her again compared to her other teammates in the height sizes. And you can see she's definitely 3'7". Now on to focusing on the drawing. I've already planned out the pose and the sketch. And now I'm coloring in my drawing. This was actually the first pixel art I've done since I drew my OC Bloop Man. So it was actually pretty challenging. You know, I've never even really done much pixel art in the past, so I really wasn't sure how this was gonna turn out in the first place, but I think I'm pretty happy with the result though. Here you can see I'm struggling with whether to add black lines around the entire staff or not, but I decided it looked best with black lines all the way around it. And then I'm on to the shading, and for shading, I don't really have an exact science. I just kind of do what seems to look correct. And that's kind of how I do the whole piece of artwork. And it might not be the best way to go about it, but if it works for me, I mean, can't be a bad way, you know? I couldn't really decide if the nose needed any shading, but the clothes were fairly simple to shade. And then I noticed I had forgotten a part on her dress where it has a little extra piece of fabric hanging down on the side. So I went back with red so I can figure out where to add those lines. If you go in with black, then it gets confusing. And then also there were some shapely parts on her dress where it came out like that. So I added that as well. I gotta shade that too. The shoes could have probably used a darker color, but the color palette didn't really have anything like that, so I just used a lighter color to highlight them. And then I wanted to add something to her shoes, like a little bow or something, but I wasn't quite sure how to add that. And then on to the background. When I had imagined, as I was drawing the character, I really figured like a leafy type of autumn background would fit her. So that's what I attempted to draw. I really struggled with drawing this tree because I think it's the first time I've ever drawn a pixel tree. And I did look on Pinterest for some examples. And that definitely helped, because I think this was like the third time I had drawn it. Which I cut out of the video because it was like boring. I had originally wanted this sky to be kind of a golden yellow, but then I realized that it didn't really complement the tree, so I changed it to a darker blue. Yeah, I think the tree came out pretty good though. I was pretty happy with it at the end there. And also I really just like autumn colors, so it's nice. And then of course, you gotta do the lazy artist strategy, copy it over and change it up a little bit, which of course is what I'm gonna do. Because who wants to draw a second tree? Unless you're the type of masochist, then I mean go for it, but not me. But then of course I draw the grass one by one, so maybe I am a masochist as well. Oh yeah, and then I looked up like some references on pathing as well, and this grass going into the side seemed to look pretty good, so I was attempting to do that as well. I don't know if it turned out as good as the pictures I was seeing, but I'm still overall pretty happy with that. But one part that was really hard was this part, trying to get a path to not look like crap, basically. It was definitely difficult, but I realized the character takes up most of the screen, so it didn't really matter that much. But I mean, it still looks fine, I guess. And then, yeah, I wanted to draw some leaves floating by her. If I were to animate this, I'll definitely have them like kind of swiveling around her, but for my first ArtFight attack, I didn't want to go full in. And yeah, that's pretty much the finished piece. I'd say it was pretty good for my first real pixel art character with background.